Right now, a massive Atlantic low-pressure system is barreling toward the United Kingdom, and what it brings with it could turn Sunday evening, the 8th of February 2026, into one of the most miserable nights we have seen all winter. But here is the question that matters most. Is your city directly in the firing line? Because some areas are about to get absolutely hammered, while others might just dodge the worst of it. Stay with me for the next 15 minutes because I am going to break this down city by city, hour by hour, so you know exactly what is heading your way, when it arrives, and how bad it gets. And if you stick around until the 5-minute mark, I will reveal the one region where conditions could turn genuinely dangerous tonight, with a weather warning most people have not even heard about yet. Before we go any further, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. London, Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Belfast. Wherever you are, comment your city below and I will make sure future forecasts cover your area in even more detail. The more you tell me, the better I can help you prepare. Now let me set the scene, because the numbers coming in from the Met Office are quite something. Humidity levels across southern England are sitting between 86 and 97% right now. That is not rain. That is the air itself turning into water. The entire country is buried under cloud, and nationwide we are averaging just 2 hours of sunshine per day. 2 hours out of an entire day. That works out to roughly 22% of total daylight hours. February 2026 is shaping up to be one of the gloomiest stretches in recent memory. But here is where it gets really interesting, and this is what most forecasts will not tell you. There is a battle happening in the atmosphere right above us. A massive Atlantic low-pressure system is pushing in from the southwest, while a wall of freezing air is flooding down from Scandinavia and the North Sea. These two forces are about to collide, and the collision zone, a weather boundary running from the southwest all the way to the northeast, is going to dictate everything that happens tonight. Rain in the south, sleet in the middle, and snow, actual snow, on higher ground in the north. Same country, 3 completely different weather events, all unfolding at the same time. Let us start in London and the southeast, because that is where the largest number of you are watching from. The capital is sitting under a thick grey blanket right now, and it is not lifting anytime soon. Daytime temperatures reached 11 to 12 degrees Celsius, but here is the catch. Once darkness falls and sunset tonight is at just 2 minutes past 5, temperatures will slide down to 7 or 8 degrees within the first hour. But the number that really matters is the feels-like temperature, and that is sitting at just 5 to 6 degrees. Why? A southeasterly breeze of 13 to 15 kilometers per hour, combined with that extraordinary humidity, is making it feel significantly colder than the thermometer suggests. The chance of rain at certain points this evening hits 90%. Not 50, not 70, 90. The rainfall itself is light, perhaps 1 to 2 millimeters per hour, but it is relentless. It just does not stop. If you are heading out in London tonight, waterproof jacket and umbrella are non-negotiable. Now, I promised you something at the 5-minute mark, and here it is. The area of greatest concern tonight is not London, it is not Manchester, it is the southwest of England, specifically Plymouth, Cornwall, Devon, and Somerset. The Met Office has issued yellow warnings for this entire region for both heavy rain and strong winds. Here is why this matters. Days of accumulated rainfall have left low-lying areas completely waterlogged. The ground cannot absorb another drop. Rivers are running high, and tonight, intense showers accompanied by gusty Atlantic winds are about to push even more water onto land that is already saturated. The Environment Agency has active flood warnings in place. If you live in Bristol, Somerset, Devon, Dorset, Plymouth, or anywhere in Cornwall, you need to check those flood warnings right now. Do not wait until the water is at your door. Speaking of Bristol, let me give you the specific numbers. Daytime temperatures reached 8 to 9 degrees, dropping to 5 or 6 tonight. Winds are moderate at 15 to 19 kilometers per hour, but humidity, and this number is staggering, is sitting between 92 and 98%. 98% humidity. The air in Bristol tonight is essentially saturated. And with those yellow warnings in place and rivers already swollen, localized flooding is not just possible, it is likely in the most vulnerable spots. Moving west to Cardiff, and Wales is getting caught right in the path of those Atlantic frontal systems. February typically brings 9 rainy days to Cardiff with an average total of 22 millimeters, and the 8th of February is absolutely one of those wet days. Temperatures started at around 10 degrees this morning, but will drop to 5 to 7 degrees by evening. The Met Office has specifically warned that heavy rain may affect South Wales in particular, with slow-moving frontal rain bands delivering persistent and at times heavy downpours. Interesting fact for those of you in Cardiff, February is actually the month with the highest snowfall in the city, though any snow tonight will stick to higher ground rather than the city itself. Now, do not skip ahead, because what is happening further north is where this forecast takes a dramatic turn. Birmingham and the West Midlands have endured a thoroughly wet and gloomy week, and Sunday evening offers little relief. Daytime highs reached just 7 to 8 degrees, and here is the number that should make you reach for an extra layer. By nightfall, temperatures in Birmingham will drop to just 2 to 4 degrees. That is a significant plunge. The Met Office says Sunday might be somewhat drier than recent days, with occasional brighter interludes, but do not be fooled. Somewhat drier means less rain, not no rain. Humidity is averaging 80 to 87%. And a persistent easterly breeze of 10 to 15 kilometers per hour makes that cold feel even sharper. Manchester, a city so famous for rain that it has become part of the identity. And tonight, Manchester lives up to its reputation completely. The high today reached just 7 degrees. By nightfall, brace yourself, temperatures will plummet to just 1 or 2 degrees. That is borderline freezing in the middle of a major English city. Manchester in February typically endures 14 days of rain with a total of 53 millimetres, which is considerably more than London, and averages a mere 2 hours of sunshine per day. But here is the twist that caught my attention. Come evening and into the start of the new working week, conditions are expected to deteriorate even further as wet and windy frontal systems push in from the west. Tonight is not the worst of it. Monday could be worse. I will have a full update on that in tomorrow's forecast, so make sure you are subscribed. Just 30 miles west of Manchester, Liverpool faces its own unique challenge, the Irish Sea. Sea breezes are carrying moisture inland and ramping up the wind chill dramatically. The high today was just 6 degrees, but the overnight low could drop to -1. Yes, below freezing in Liverpool. The Met Office has cautioned that strong winds may develop along coastal areas overnight. If you are anywhere near the Liverpool waterfront this evening, exercise real caution. Coastal conditions can change fast, and the combination of strong winds, rough seas, and near freezing temperatures is not something to take lightly. Leeds and Yorkshire, now this is where the forecast gets really serious, and I want you to pay close attention. Leeds sits in the lowlands east of the Pennines, which means it gets hit from both directions. Biting easterly winds off the North Sea and Atlantic moisture spilling over the hills. February typically brings 12 days of rain and approximately 4 days of snowfall to Leeds. 4 days of snow. And tonight, with colder air filtering down from the north, there is every possibility of sleet or wet snow on the higher ground surrounding the city, particularly across the Yorkshire Dales and North York moors. If you are driving on higher routes through Yorkshire this evening, check road conditions before you leave. Ice and snow are genuine possibilities. Do not miss what is coming next, because the situation in the northeast is one of the most concerning in the entire country. Newcastle upon Tyne is set to be one of the coldest spots in the whole of England tonight. The Met Office recorded just 5 degrees this morning, and a sharp drop is expected by evening. Here is the stark contrast that tells the whole story. Plymouth in Devon will sit at 10 to 11 degrees tonight. Newcastle will barely touch 5 or 6. That is a 5 to 6 degree difference within the same country on the same evening. And here is the critical detail. As those rain bands sweep in from the west and hit the wall of cold air in the northeast, the rain transforms. It becomes sleet, then snow. The Pennines and areas above 200 metres could see 2 to 5 centimetres of accumulated snow tonight. Drivers using higher routes across the northeast, take great care, check road forecasts, be prepared for ice. Now let us cross the border into Scotland, and honestly, this is where the forecast enters a completely different league. Edinburgh tonight is going to be bitter. Average February temperatures barely reach 6 to 8 degrees by day, but overnight the city regularly drops to the freezing mark. Tonight specifically, the forecast puts the high at 8 degrees and the low at 4 degrees. But here is what makes Edinburgh feel so much colder than the numbers suggest. The average wind speed in Edinburgh during February is 26 kilometres per hour. That wind chill is brutal. The city receives nearly 72 millimetres of rain spread across 19 days in February, plus around 3 days of snowfall. Tonight, thick cloud, scattered rain, and a cutting easterly breeze. If you are in Edinburgh, a heavy coat, woolly hat, scarf, and gloves are not optional. They are survival equipment. Glasgow, 50 miles to the west, faces the full force of those Atlantic fronts. Temperatures peak at 6 to 7 degrees and drop to 2 to 3 degrees tonight. Western Scotland is getting hammered with rainfall totals significantly higher than the east. The Scottish Environment Protection Agency has issued flood warnings for several areas. If you are in Glasgow, check your travel routes before heading out. And then there are the Highlands. The Scottish Highlands tonight face the harshest conditions anywhere in the entire United Kingdom. Daytime highs of just 5 to 7 degrees, dropping to 2 degrees overnight. Easterly winds gusting to 25 to 35 miles per hour on the mountain tops. Thick fog blanketing most of the mountains. Visibility next to nothing. Rain or snow above 600 to 900 metres. This is emphatically not the evening for hill walking or any outdoor adventure in the Highlands. The Met Office strongly advises the utmost caution. Northern Ireland and Belfast, let me not forget you. February is one of Belfast's wettest months, averaging a remarkable 16.3 days of rain with 53 millimetres total. Belfast also typically sees nearly 3 days of snowfall in February, with accumulated snow of around 25 millimetres. Tonight, temperatures sit at 4 to 6 degrees with moderate winds and scattered rain. Yellow warnings have been issued for Northern Ireland relating to accumulated rainfall and flood risk. Keep watching those updated bulletins from Northern Ireland Direct. Quickly touching on Nottingham and Norwich in the east, both cities sit in the path of that colder northeasterly air mass. Evening temperatures of 5 to 7 degrees, easing to 2 or 3 later tonight. The East Midlands has been under yellow weather warnings for heavy rain, and although the situation eases somewhat tonight, the ground is so thoroughly saturated that localised flooding remains a real risk. East Anglia around Norwich and Cambridge may have the best chance of dodging the heaviest falls, with drier intervals and occasional breaks in the cloud. But do not get too excited. The dominant theme is still grey skies, cold winds, and persistent dampness. So let me pull this all together with what you actually need to know. Wherever you are in the United Kingdom tonight, here is your action plan. First, carry an umbrella or wear a waterproof. Rain could arrive at any time, anywhere. Second, layer up. Evening temperatures are dropping significantly from daytime figures, especially in the north. Third, if you are driving, check road forecasts before setting off, particularly on higher routes through the Pennines, the Yorkshire Dales, the Lake District and Scotland, where snow and ice are real possibilities. Fourth, if you live near a river or in a low-lying area in the southwest, South Wales or Western Scotland, check the Environment Agency flood warnings right now. Fifth, if you had any plans for the Scottish Highlands or any upland area, seriously consider postponing. Conditions up there tonight involve thick fog, strong winds, near zero visibility, and temperatures that could dip below freezing. Now, here is what I want you to do. Comment below with your location. Tell me your city, your town, your county. I read every single comment, and in tomorrow's forecast, I will give even more detailed breakdowns for the areas you request. The more specific you are, the more helpful I can be. And speaking of tomorrow, here is why you absolutely need to catch the next forecast. Those Atlantic frontal systems pushing into Manchester and the northwest tonight, they are just the advance guard. Monday is shaping up to bring a significant deterioration across much of northern England and Scotland. I have been watching the models closely, and what is developing for the early part of next week could make tonight look calm by comparison. That full breakdown drops tomorrow. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss it. Stay warm, stay dry, and stay safe out there tonight, wherever you are.